Afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, everybody is doing great. So, some manifesting hacks today I want to talk about. Let's see. Can you trust yourself to know that what you want is on the way to you? How many people can do that? I think a lot of us are stuck in what we call these loops of different realities. These maps of realities, reality loops, maps, different maps of realities we're stuck in. I think many of us are stuck in negative loops, repetitive loops. We're doing the same thing but expecting different results. And that's due to our condition in our programming, right? And that takes us away from trusting ourselves. You have to be able to trust yourself. I don't think people understand what it means to trust themselves. Everything's taken away from trusting yourselves. Trusting yourself is deeper. Trusting yourself is in a spiritual sense. It's kind of it's nothing to do with an intellect. Trusting yourself has nothing to do with intellect stuff. Trusting yourself has to do with an internal map to know yourself. It has to do with like intuition, has to do with the gut instinct, has to do with the higher self, the higher version of you interacting. That's what I mean by trust yourself. And I think many people don't know how to do it, because the secret is, it's everything is all within you already. There's nothing you have to create outside. Everything creates inside yourself. And the biggest thing that you can do to trust yourself and to release resistance is to stop trying to own stuff. Listen, you don't own anything. You don't even own your own body. You're experiencing your body. You're experiencing the self. You don't own it. Because if you own your body, you can prevent death. You can stop death. You can live forever. The physical body, all that, you don't own that stuff. The body's going to do its thing. It's going to decay. When the body, even the pain you feel, you don't own the pain. The joy you feel, you don't own the joy you feel. They're all just experience. Well, someone might say, well, I'm experiencing it. I'm feeling it. Just because you experience something doesn't mean you own it. Right? And I said this before. You don't own your car. You don't own your house. You don't own your husband, your girlfriend. You don't even own yourself. Stop trying to own stuff. That creates a lot of resistance. It makes your ego big. It brings pride. And it's going to be your downfall. Because in the true essence of reality, you cannot own stuff. The less you own, the more happy you become. Why don't you just start to experience this stuff? Be happy. It takes so much pressure off of you to understand that, wait a minute, I'm putting so much pressure on myself because I don't even own. When your body is sick, heal it. The body's hungry, you feed it. The body will talk to you, it tell you what it needs, you just do it. That's what you do. You don't try to control and own stuff, man. Because you can't own anything. Like I said before, your body's going to digest the food when it wants to. You don't even own breathing. Your body breathes on its own. You can't control your own heart rate. You can't tell your heart when to stop and go. You can't tell your food, okay, I want you to digest at this particular time. You don't do any of that. So that's a clear indication that you have been taught the wrong lessons about life. That's a clear indication that you have to unlearn what you learn. Every single thing that you have learned when you came into this world, it was all backwards. They taught you wrong. You're being led astray because you're not in alignment with how the laws of the universe work and how the laws of your mind, body, and spirit work. If you don't get this, you're always going to be in a loop, a reality loop. You're always going to be chasing something that you can't get. You won't get it. You're always going to have disappointment. You're always going to be in a state of lack. You're always going to be struggling. It's going to be hard for you to manifest stuff. And where does all of this take place? It's all in your unconscious or your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will control and do all of that stuff. So, I mean, are you hearing what I'm saying? Or you listening, right? I want you to think deep about what I just said. Let me repeat it again. You own nothing. You've been tricked. You've been duped. Your house, you don't own a house. You don't own the land. None of that. You stop paying your mortgage. You buy a house. Go ahead, buy a house. Okay, you don't pay mortgage. You got to pay tax on the land, on the house. If you don't pay the tax, the government takes it. Your body. You don't even own your body. Your body's going to do what it wants to do. You have to learn to go with the flow. You have to learn to go with flow. If you learn to go with flow, you will manifest every single thing you want, and it's easier. Owning stuff and the way they program you, especially when it comes to like human interaction, relationships, all that, it breeds jealousy, it breeds envy, you get heartache because you think, that's mine, I own that. That's my girlfriend, I own her. That's my boyfriend. This is my husband, this is my wife. Well, you guys, what you guys have is an agreement. Hey, I love you, I feel for you. Let's bond together. Okay. But he or she can get up whenever they want and do whatever they want, and you can't stop that. Try as hard as you can. People are going to do what they want to do regardless. You can't force someone to love you. Can't force someone to want you, to desire you. Can't do any of that. That's why you have to just experience what comes into your life. You experience that with non-attachment. Look, if you think about it, the fact that you can live your life to know that, man, there's really no pressure on me because it's all a game. There's really no pressure on me because I don't own any of this stuff. I'm experiencing all this stuff. My car, my house, my bank account, my money, all of that stuff you have. I'm just experiencing these stuff. But they want to make it feel like I own this stuff so I could hold on to it. The more I hold on to it, the more it moves away from me, the more resistance I create. Because, life is about experience. Life is about going with the flow. Life is about being non-attached, where nothing owns you and everything is you're experiencing it. Let's go back to your body again. Your body talks to you all the time. Your body will say, I'm hungry. Okay, I'm going to feed my body. Your body will say, I'm sleepy. I'm going to sleep. The body says, I'm sick. You'll feel it. Okay, I'm going to heal my body. The body says, I'm in pain. Okay, I'm experiencing the pain. You don't own the pain. The body says, I'm in heartache. You're experiencing the heartache. You don't own the heartache. You don't own the joy. You don't own the happiness. You can't own any of those things, man. Those things are emotions. They are perceptions. The only thing that you can truly own is your experience. I repeat that. The only thing that you can truly own is an experience. And an experience is perception to different individuals. So if you go around this matrix and they're telling you, hey, you got to own this and got to get your own car, and you walking around like, I own all that stuff, and then people switch up on you, people leave you, and you get heartache, you get depressed because you are duped by the matrix. If you are smart and you want to play this game, you want to master this game, you'll understand that I'm just going to be in a flow. And you know what? Let me tell you something about how powerful that is. When the most powerful person is someone that they can't bargain with, that they can't bribe you. when someone meets someone and they say, man, I can't buy that guy. I can't do anything because this guy's not attached to nothing, man. There's nothing I can do that will make this guy become my servant. That's where the power is. Relationships, man, there's nothing I can do to get this guy. I want this, or this girl. You know, this guy, this girl, this guys, they're not on me like every other person is. They're not like sweating me. They're not like reaching out. Why aren't they like on me? Because they know how the game works. They are intelligent. They understand that attachment to nothing creates abundance for everything. They're just going to go along with the flow. Hey, I'm in the flow state. The flow state now, we go into the laws of the universe. And this involves the world of quantum mechanics. So I just showed you about the mind, about the body. I'm going to talk about the universal laws of this method here. Now, when someone's in a flow state, they are in a state of allowance. Let me explain to you what it means. You, my friend, even though you're a walking, talking, physical specimen, you fail to see what you really are, and that is you are constantly emitting rays of energy out into space. What you emit, we call them vibrations, we call them frequencies, and we call them oscillations. Okay? So while I'm talking to you right now, I am emitting vibrations. These vibrations now, by the way, you can't see them. We can't see them. And the reason you can't see them is because your brain is just tuned just enough to see what it wants to see, which is what your five senses can do. So about 99% of reality you actually can't see. 99% of your life is hidden from you. You only can see 1% of reality. 99% of all the sounds you can hear is hidden from you. You can only hear 1% of sound. Did you know that? So, let's say I'm emitting these vibrations, right? So I'm putting these vibrations out. Now, what happens when I put a vibration out is you have other people like me and you, right? We all, like a whole bunch of people, right? Now, here's the thing about people. Every single people or person, they're all connected with this vibration. But they're not connected in the thinking mind. They're connected unconsciously. Right? Questions here. Yes, I'm resonating. Why you don't drink coffee? I'll tell you in a minute. So these people are all connected by this unconscious things. Remember, unconscious is something you're not aware of, right? Conscious, aware, unconscious, not aware of. So I'm sending out these frequencies. First, here's what happens. First, I'm going to send out a vibration. A vibration now is going to match a frequency. The universe is filled with frequencies. Billions, infinite amounts of frequencies. Right now, you can't see, but they're out there. Look like a radio station. You got different channels for jazz, for hip-hop, for R&B, for classic, relaxing music, right? So you got to tune your thing and you get to the jazz. So that's a frequency. It's already out there. It's already set up out there. So when I give off a vibration, now we go back to the flow state, right? So when I don't own anything, that's the mindset that I'm just experiencing things and it's going to make me happier. So there's a pressure that takes immense pressure off of me now because I'm just like, whoa, this is all a game, man. Let me just go with the flow. Let me just expect the beautiful unexpected. Let me just be in the state, right? So what happens to my body now, in my mind now, is my cells, they'll go back to what's called their stasis. My cells will actually start to change the biochemical signatures, the molecular signatures of the cells in my atoms. They all also oscillate, by the way. Everything vibrates. So my atoms in the cells, they'll start to change a little. The tone starts to change. You can see this in an electron microscope. The tone of the vibration changes just a little bit. That little bit of change is enough to put my body in harmony. So when my body is in harmony now, the vibration is going to look for harmony. So there's going to be a frequency out there for harmony. So my reality now must bring in harmony. So I'm going to be on what you call that's called a high vibration. When people say, man, I feel good, I'm just in a groove, blah, blah, blah. They call that the high vibe. You ever hear that, man? High vibe, man. You're in high vibration. Woo! I feel good. You know, high vibration, you laugh a lot. You sleep better, all that stuff, right? Positive stuff. Man, then you're going to attract these positive people. Guys, that's in a nutshell, that's quantum mechanics. Like particles will attract their counterparts equally. Positive vibration going to attract positive vibration. Negative vibration is going to attract negative vibration. But that can only happen if you want to attract the positive vibration. You have to unlearn what you've been taught. And it's so sneaky because people don't even understand how deep it goes. Because you spend your whole life like chasing something, like chasing to own this stuff, chasing to do that, chasing to find that, chasing to, when I find that girl, I'll find that guy, it's going to be my, and then you put all your effort and you buy stuff and you think you own those people. You think, oh, they're not going to leave me. I got that. That's going to happen. But you're wrong, man. People can change, man. People can decide. You should never try to convince people to like you, because you're just making them do not like you even more. Do you understand that? This is the science of how the mind works. This is something that you weren't taught. You didn't know this stuff. And let me show you something. You know this stuff doesn't work because it doesn't work. You experience this in your life. How many of you have tried to own stuff and lost it? How many of you trying to force stuff and doesn't work out? How many of you try to fix something that keeps running? How many of you trying to convince people to like you and it's just the opposite? They're running away from you. How many of you trying to make money and chase money and you're just doing the opposite of you? That's because you're not following the laws of quantum physics and the laws of the mind and body. Look, it's hard for people to understand, to let go. It's really hard for people because people's egos are tied to possessions. They're tied to things. They're like, oh, this is value. So for them to let it go, it feels like they don't have anything or they don't own anything. But the bottom line is, you and I are actually nothing. We are empty space of energy. We are transparent. Your brain perceives reality through electrochemical impulses, and it shoots it out into your world. So you can't own something that you're not a part of it. You're nothing. You're transparent. You're energy. So to get technical, everything that you try to own is going to disown you. Everything you got trying to chase is going to run away from you. Now, if you work with the law, now it's going to be a different game. Everything that you go into flow state will come to you, will stay with you, will work with you, will manifest faster for you, will have more abundance for you, because the laws of physics are the laws of physics. You can't change those laws. They're embedded from the day the universe created. I work with a bunch of negative gossip people, and it brings me down. Yep, that's an example. Someone wrote that. That's an example of what I talk about, where the vibration will go out, and the frequency will attract those like-minded people. Right. So you can't own anything. Yeah, the live thing cut off because my phone was in a was in a spot where the sun was hitting it, so it overheated a little bit. It automatically cut off my my thing, right? It froze on me. Yeah, it froze because the phone just cut off, because where I had my phone set up, it was the sun was hitting it. So I'm gonna move to somewhere more shady here, where I can where it doesn't have to overheat, where I can put it really, really good. But yeah, as I was saying, guys, the thing is, you want to understand that you want to become flow with the stuff in your life. You don't want these things to own you, because if they own you, then you're really not yourself. You're just going to be in a state of resistance. You're always going to meet a lot of disappointments when we try to like do things, or try to have stuff that will just really cause damage to our well-being. So you want to remember that. So the secret for you is you want to be in a state of the allowance state, the flow state. The flow state is the state you're going to manifest a lot faster, because you're going to work with the universe instead of against the universe. See how it works? What if your mom and bro have to live with that very low vibe? How to protect it? Well, okay, if you have parents and they have like low vibration, you're going to have to use coping mechanism. Coping mechanism is that you're going to have to start to do more things for you that's going to continue to raise your vibration. You got to do more meditation. You're going to have to do more focusing on positive stuff. You're going to have to like keep your work to yourself, like what you're manifesting and all that stuff. You're going to have to do all that stuff to remove those, so you don't have to worry about like negative stuff happening in your life. See where I can see. How do you clear debt? Okay, to clear debt is here's the best way to do it. Okay, you have to be abundant in the mind. I said this before. Most successful people, before they even gathered success, they were already rich in their head, in their mind. So you have to start to put pictures and things in your head, like what would it look like to overcome the debt? Like, what would my life look like debt free? And then you got to start to see abundance in the mind, because everything comes through your mind into your physical reality, right? And that's something that I think we don't understand, and we take for granted. Hi Mark, do you believe crystals protect against negativity? Yes, crystals definitely do protect against negativity, because crystals, the properties, they can absorb stuff, and then when they absorb stuff, they efficiently put them out. They're great conductors. That's why we have crystals in our phones and everything, to protect so our computers don't crash or anything. They're very, very good absorbers of energy. So crystals are recommended. That's good. But so I want to go back now to what we talked about when I said about owning and experiencing and things of that sort. You see, the biggest contributor to what we cannot attract is how we view ourselves, right? And the ego does a good job of painting a picture of you, right? The ego will paint a picture of you that will give you like you have the power, or like you got pride, and all of this, and people owe you stuff, and if you do, they got to give to you, and you own things, you got to do this and all that. But if we go into the laws of physics, quantum mechanics, it's literally impossible for us to own stuff, because we ourselves aren't even real stuff. The stuff you own isn't even real. So when you put your mind and try to own something, you're glitching the laws of physics, and that's why you meet resistance. Because the law says in the mind, and now it goes into the subconscious. The mind says, what are you doing? You can't own that stuff. I put you here to experience that stuff. Why are you trying to own something that's not even there? It says, you're already a part of that stuff you're trying to own. Stop owning and just go ahead and experience it. That's why you have all these different senses, and that's why you can smell different stuff. You can taste different elements. All that was put into you so that you can experience this stuff. And when we don't know that, that's where we face the struggle, right? That's where we have problems manifesting, because we're going against the natural flow of the universe. Whenever you don't manifest something, or whenever you're facing like your life's not going the way you want it to go, it's because you're going against the grain. You're going against the laws of physics, you're going against the laws of the mind, and you're going against the laws of the body. Right? See what I mean? So always remember that. Anytime we're like struggling or you feel stuck and all that stuff, some part of you is misaligned. Now, whenever you are like good stuff is happening, now you're moving along with it. See guys, life is a game. It's like life. You should never take life serious. That's another trick of the Matrix. They put you in. Your whole life should never be serious. Your whole life, now, what I'm talking big picture. You know, your life should be an experience of the unimaginable of great stuff. Nothing should be too high, nothing should be too low. Nothing should be too great, nothing. You should have a steady middle ground, because it's really a game. Let's look at how our minds and body work. I mean, information now, they discovered that information is what they call the fifth state of matter. They now starting to discover that, hey, everything is made up of information. You and I are just information. It's kind of like a computer game, a video game. You got qubits, you got pixels. They're starting to see that now. The subconscious mind works. It's so illogical, right? And it can easily be programmed, and then whatever you see in your head, you're going to see out in the real world. That's analogous to what? Like video games, like a simulation type of thing, where the thoughts become real. So it's like everyone around you and the stuff they make up are just stuff they make up for society, and then we were conditioned to take these things real and make them serious, and then to like hold on and own and chase and fight and da 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 da. But they want to show you like, hey man, the game is really simple. All you got to do is just watch the patterns, because the universe is going to give you patterns. Patterns are like the synchronicities you'll see, right? You'll see like the numbers like 6 to 1s, the 2 to 8. Those are always those are encoded in the universe to show you the way. So you watch the pattern, then when you notice the pattern, then you get into the flow. The flow now is conditioned in your mind, predominantly your ego mind, and then your subconscious mind, to understand that, okay, what's the big picture here? What am I doing here? I'm here to experience stuff. So if I can experience something, let me start to become non-attached to it. Attachment is your enemy, because the world is conditioned for you to become attached to stuff. Everything they create is for you to become attached to it. Look at this beautiful car. Look at this beautiful. You want that. That's yours. Da da da. I gotta own that. I gotta get that. No. It's all part of the game. So it's all part of how to get the mind to create resistance. You know, resistance is this force that stops you from manifesting. It's all in the Matrix. The Matrix is full of resistance. The Matrix want to build resistance. It's a resistance game. You have to see this. The people who will get success are the ones who know the secret. Or I don't know if you want to call it a secret, but they know this knowledge, and they know the game, how the game works. Play the game the correct way, the game will reward you. Play the game the wrong way, the game going to give you a lot of obstacles. You're going to face a lot of bad stuff. Because, you know, the reality is all a perception, and there's so much different realities that you can go into right now, because your mind is constantly flipping through different levels of dimensions of realities. Although you can't see them, because as I said, our physical reality, we're only tuned into one part of the spectrum, right? We only can see like one part of that spectrum, and that's important. That's the thing you want to understand, guys, is that to manifest or to do stuff to get the good stuff in your life, you gotta disassociate yourself from your ego. Not kill your ego, but know the ego is there, but don't take it seriously. That's how you disassociate yourself from your ego. Because if you associate yourself with the ego, you're going to associate yourself with resistance, because your ego is trained for that. It's conditioned for that. You know, your ego wants to own. It wants to chase. It wants to control stuff. It wants to plan your life. It wants to look in the future. It wants to make you feel pain. It wants to make you feel insecure. It wants to do all these things to you. Right? And if you're not careful, it'll put you in a loop, that reality loop. That reality, or map of reality, where you're just going to be in a circle like a dog chasing its tail, and it's going to show you this big picture. It's always going to be this big picture of the best, but it's always, you notice, it's always going to be in the future though, right? Notice how your mind works. Your ego will always say, everything is, we want, it's over there, man. It's going to tell you, over there, we got to go over there. And you're going to like chase it, and it's going to come back again and say, we're almost there. And like a dog chasing its tail, you'll never catch it. But in your own head, you think you're close, like, oh man, look at the future, look at the future. But there's no future. Future don't exist. It's right now. Time doesn't exist. Did you know in certain parts of the world, they don't follow the same time calendar as you and I? Ethiopia, they're 7 years back. If you go to Ethiopia right now, it's 2014. It's 2014, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Their year is 13 months. Even their time zone, 12 hours, 6-hour days, 12 and 12, 6. Did you know that? We follow the Gregorian calendar. So all of this is relative. It's an illusion. Go to Ethiopia. You'll be 7 years in the past. Their year is 2014. Everywhere part of it is 2022. 12 months, 13 months. I'm just showing you a big picture how time is an illusion, how things different. Some people don't even know that. So but the thing is, your ego will do that to you. Your ego gives you perceptions of these made up. Made up. Every single thing is made up. Like a game. When you came into this world, it was already made up. A name was already made up for you. A religion was already made up for you. A political party was already made up for you. A class was already made up for you. Rich, poor, middle, poor. An identity was already made up for you. These are already made up by your parents. They had these. They were made up for them too. As you open your eyes into this world, you see the buildings, the government made up, your school made up. Everything was made up for you already. Language was made up for you. The only thing that's real about you is what you feel inside. The only thing that's real for you is what your perception tells you. I mean, that's why I say it's a game. Let's go deeper. People who made this game up are people that are not even no more smarter than you. Some of these people aren't as smart as you, and they made all this stuff, made up the government, this how it's going to run. They're just the same people like you. Someone says, that's what I've been thinking. Everything seems fake. Yeah, fake. What do you want to call it? Everything is made up, man. The only thing that's real about you is your spirit. The essence of who you are. Your intuition. the gut feeling, the visions you can have, the prophetic stuff, those higher self talking to you, those are the only things that are what we call real, because those are what you are. Like I said, your name is made up. Like whatever name they give you, that's just the game name. Mark is the game name for me. Whatever your name is, the game name for you. That's not even your real name. You know, the people around you, they have made up names and all that stuff too. Everybody's living like a made up world of. Everybody's living in a fake world, in a fake self. Every person is. Everybody is led to believe that there is this future where everything's going to be better for them, and their mind says this, or it's going to be worse for them. Everybody's living that way because that's what the Matrix puts on people's mind. Right? Someone says we live in a world of imagination. What is imagination? Our perception. So that's what I'm showing you. So if you start to see life as a game and don't take it too serious, and then start to go with the flow, the game will reward you. People will love you more. People will respect you more. You'll have better relationships. You're more confident because you'll have something that 99% of the world people don't have, which is non-attachment. You have a power that is more powerful than anything. Look, when people can't own you, buy you, con you, or whatever they want, you're a very powerful being, man. They say everybody have a price, but when you're that person who don't have a price and you don't let nothing attach to you, you are unattached to everything. You know how much power that is? Yeah, being free is powerful. You know that when you can, in relationships, when you don't have to like try to own people and just be yourself and just you take your happiness and merge it with their happiness, or take your happiness and if they ain't happy, they're trying to bum off of your happiness. You tell them peace, bye. You know what power that is for you? You know how much respect you're gonna get. You know how much less like when people have heartaches when they go to bed and they try to, oh, this person will love me. I try to make him love me. You can't make people love you, man. I try to chase that. You can't do that stuff because you're gonna go against the laws of nature. The laws of nature is it's a simple game, guys. Very simple game. The key to master the game is you got to go back and reprogram the stuff they put you in a game. Think about a game. What is a game? A program. Programs. Guess what? You and I are programs. Matter of fact, we're about 98% programs. A lot of our lives are subconscious programs. You see how everything is just leading back to this game here? Someone says everything we were taught is a lie. Yes, look, you gotta go back and like really like clean house, because everything is like backwards, the opposite. Now, do they do this deliberately, or they just was ignorant to do it? I don't know. People say, yeah, they do it deliberately because they don't want to control you. There's some truth in that. Or I think many of it, they don't even know how the game worked themselves. They were trying to program the game within a game. See what I'm saying? And once some people understand that this was a game, like the people in power, like people who control information to you, once they understand this was a game and they say, oh man, this is a game, so let's make a game within the game for ourselves. Let's get these players to conform to our game rules. And that's what happened with the Matrix. And manifesting in the law of attraction and spirituality and all that stuff is understanding that this is a game, and then understanding that you don't own anything and you just experiencing stuff. It's like you're constantly borrowing things, borrowing this, because you're going to experience it. You're going to move on, into the next dimension, into the next life cycle. When you're gone from here, you'll come back again. Who knows where to come back? But you'll constantly explore. You'll constantly experience. So that's why you shouldn't really sweat stuff, guys. You shouldn't really be attached to things, man, because those things aren't going to make you happy. It's an illusion. It's thinking like your mind says it'll make you happy. When you get them, you're going to go for more, and you're going to continue to chase something that's never going to fulfill you. So that's why it's better for you to just experience these stuff, because when you experience stuff, it gives more fulfillment, because there's so much peace to go to bed at night knowing that I'm not attached to nothing. I'm not sweating anybody. I'm not losing sleep over anybody. I understand I'm not taking myself too seriously. And that's the big problem people do. They take themselves too seriously because the matrix give it to them. The ego says, I'm this, I'm that. You can't do this to me. People take things personally, take things too seriously. And again, that's a part, they go off misalignment. When they take themselves seriously, when they start questioning, why they don't do it? They go to bed, they can't sleep. Now the subconscious is building these programs and they lose self-esteem, and and they let people control them. They let stuff control them, man. You can't do that. Everything just is everything. It takes practice to do this. It takes time to learn this, because your mind is so strong, right? Your ego is so like there, man. It's always pushing on you and it's always pulling on you. But once you can overcome that, then you will see like the true game. You're like, wow, this is really easy. And so let me explain to you, okay, what happens? Why does the flow state work, Mark? Why is this, why are you telling me this stuff? You're basically telling me the opposite of what I was taught growing up. All right. Someone says, Mark, don't you need to own your creation though? aka your imagination, acts, money, cars to be yours. Well, your imagination is your perception. Imagination, guys, let me show you something. When you imagine something, it's all over the field. Like some of our ideas we get in our head was somewhere else. You ever have an idea in your head about an invention, and then you didn't act on it, then a couple of days later someone act on it? So ideas and information is always going around, so we don't own any of that. So now when you talk about your creation now, what you do, if you want to use the word own, but let's just make sense. When you have a vision of something, right, it's called a desire. So you own your desires. The creation is a natural part of it. So you don't own the creation, you own the desire to create something. Your imagination. So that desire is yours, because two people could be together and have different desires. My desire could be this, that's your desire. I can't have your desire. What's in me is in me. That's technically what you own. But when stuff create, it's a natural process. So you use your desire, and you're going to experience your creation. That's how it works. But I want to talk about the power, right? But someone asked a question here, says, this is Sugar Bear, but how do you hold on to what you have, like a job and a house? What do you mean, how do you hold on to what you have? All right. If you have a job or a house and you want to keep it, don't try too hard. Just go with the flow. That's how you say. It's the language that say, look, like not lose it. Okay. So if you don't want to lose something, guys, the more you let go, the more the thing will come to you. Many of us, what we try to do when we get like house, we get a job or something, we try our hardest to impress the boss, or don't do it that way. Whenever you're doing something, expect it like normal, like it's a game. Like, I'm supposed to have this. This is supposed to be my experience. That's how you're going to hold on to those stuff, because you're not attached to them. Let's use relationships. So the people that you can say you get a new girlfriend or a boyfriend, but the first thing you want to do, you want to impress them, right? Many people are like, buy stuff for them, I do this for them. But if you do too much, that person is going to back away, like, yo, it's like you're too clingy, right? See, so just be yourself, be flow, expect things to be normal for you. Someone says, game, keeping up with the Jones. Yep, it's part of the game. So when you get into that, we call that flow state now, you shift your vibration to what we call the natural state of harmony with the universe. Now you're working with the universe instead of against the universe. Because remember what I said, guys, like, let's say your spirit, your intuition, all that is the only thing that's what you call real, and that was infused in the universe. So when you were born and came in here, We invented the game, we invented rules and all that stuff. But the universe still has its own rules. Just because we invent our rules, it's not going to change the universe rules. See, so what we did was, when the Matrix invented its rules, everyone thought like, okay, the Matrix rules are going to affect the universe. The universe and the Matrix are two different things. You're just going to, the rules they invent is just going to corrupt you more. Okay? Hey Mark, what does everything is nothing and nothing is everything means? It means that, the simple way I could put it for you to understand is, all right, look around your surroundings. You see all this stuff, right? Maybe you see buildings, cars, even your clothes. Okay? All that looks like stuff to you, right? In actuality, if you get deep into how the workings of the universe and how matter works and how we work, that's actually nothing. It's actually empty, predominantly empty space and just particles. They come together and they give off a vibration. And if they oscillate so fast, like this, boom, they look like solid stuff. So that's what I mean by everything is nothing. And now, from everything comes nothing. So there was nothing before everything. I'm showing you big picture. Big pictures I want you to understand that don't take all the stuff you see around you too seriously. Don't let it affect you to where you're going to get stressed, worried, doubt. Because in reality, none of it is really real. It's all a perception. It's all this vibration of energy. Now, if you can use that to your advantage, which is the game part, then you start to see things in your way. You start to go with the flow. You start to just watch the patterns. You know, the thing about the universe, it will show you the game is so easy. Not only it tells you the game is easy, but it gives you a how to play the game. You know, like some games, they're saying you like, this is how you play the game. The universe gives you that in real time. How does the universe give you the game plan? It shows you patterns. I'll give you an example of what I mean. All right, let's say I go somewhere. I'll use the lottery because the lottery thing is. So let's say I go somewhere and I'm in line. This happened actually a week ago. I think I'm at the Walmart. I'm in line. There's a bunch of people there. I'm going to get a ticket. And this one person was there like arguing with the person. And I'm like, man, this taking too long. There's just too many people here. The voice just said, hey man, go somewhere else. See the flow? The line was like a lot of resistance. I was like, man, this is too much resistance. I went somewhere else. Went up to the street to Publix. I bought 2 tickets, and there were like 2 of them. Back to back, there were $500 winners on each ticket. That's what I mean by flow state. Just go with the flow. Watch. That's the pattern it shows you. See, the universe show you the pattern. It says, look, this stuff here, don't push. If things aren't like going like easy for you, or if you gotta like try and push a lot, and you gotta, then my philosophy is move on. That's an example of flow. And that's something you have to learn and observe, but the pattern's are always there. And the ones who master the pattern are the ones who will master the game. They call it the game changers. All right, someone says, are we constantly manifesting? Yes, even when you're sleeping, you're manifesting. You can never stop manifesting. You manifest on 2 levels. You manifest consciously, where you're aware of it, where you can like make a decision and do something. And you manifest unconsciously, where you're not aware of it, but your emotions drive you. Your emotions, like the fear or some anger, they manifest that way. But you are constantly manifesting. Look, again, I'm going to show you how easy the game is, guys, okay? So here's the game plan. Manifesting is very simple. It's all about this. What am I focusing on? The more you focus on a different aspect of reality, that's what you're going to manifest. That's very simple. So ask yourself a question. What are you focusing on? Your mind's going to show you immediately. You're going to see the picture. Man, I've been focusing too much on like bad, negative stuff, man. Fix it. How do you fix it? Just use your imagination to focus on what you want. Don't focus on how you're going to get what you want. Just focus on what you want. You can write it down. If you can visualize, you can visualize it. You can talk about it, you can talk about it. But that's what I learned. When I discovered it's like, man, this game is easy, man. I was doing it the hard way. I was like, I didn't see the patterns. The patterns were there. I didn't like pick up on the patterns. But I was like, look, the universe, the game is like has a cheat code there. It's like showing me how to like follow my intuition. And then the voice talked to me. I used to ignore the voice too, you know. Do you ever worry? I used to worry, but I don't worry anymore. Because worry is an illusion again. Because what is there to worry about? You know, the future is something that's the mind's best perception or guess. It's not happening. Do you ever notice, like, when you, no matter how much you worry and stuff, do you ever notice things aren't really as bad as they are? Things don't turn out as bad as you think. It's your own mind doing it to them. So I don't learn to worry. Now, yeah, you have concerns? You can have concerns. It's natural to have concerns. Now, let me say something else. It is also natural to worry. So I don't want people to think like, oh my God, worrying is natural. It's something we've been programmed to do. But also, worry is something made up. It's someone says here, it's fear. It's something that they put into you to show you that your ego adopted, that this will happen if you don't do this. You'll always remember this. Your mind will always show you the worst thing before it will show you the best thing. Repeat that. And you notice, when you look into the future, your mind will show you the worst scenario, and then it'll show you the best scenario. Your mind will never show you the best first. It will always show you the worst first. That's why people worry. That's why we have fear and all that stuff. Why does your mind do that? Because from the day you're born, your mind was naturally wired to manifest fear. When you came into the game, it was from your parents. You picked it up, so it wired into your unconscious, and you became like the fear, the worry, and all that stuff, you know? Some people, they call him the king of worry and all that stuff, but, you know, when you understand how this stuff works, you really don't have to worry. You really don't have to fear, because you know it's like, oh, it's a game. It's a perception. It's an experience. I mean, who cares? I mean, if you think about it, the people around you, all of the next 200 years, none of us will be here. We'll all be gone. People won't even remember you. It's a cycle. Your energy will go. It may reincarnate somewhere else or wherever it goes. But you're constantly will be here and now in some form. You can't technically what you call die. The body will decay and so, but the essence of your spirit, we know that it lives on. And in quantum physics, we see that as well. That, you know, through microtubules, we see your consciousness goes somewhere back out into the universe. It goes back to wherever it comes back. It may come back in a different form. So you will constantly evolve in and changing around. So there is really nothing. You shouldn't be worried about anything. And you know what? You know, the biggest thing that causes worry, guys, is also attachment. We attach a lot of stuff. You know, we become attached to our house, to our car, to our possessions. We worry, like, what if we lose it? We become attached to your money, like all that stuff. That creates worry. That's what I talk about. When stuff owns you, you're going against the laws of the universe, the laws of the mind, and the laws of the body. But once you understand to go with flow with these things, now it's not saying that you're just going to be this nonchalant person that just sits back and just like be a pushover. That's not what this is about, guys. It's about picking your battles. That's what this is about. It's not fighting everything you see. It's picking your battles. It's watching the pattern. It's listening to yourself. It's listening to your higher self. That's what this is about. It's about inspired action versus hard work action. It's about working smarter, not harder. That's basically what this comes down to. And once you do that, you train your mind. You know, every day you become in the flow state, you're actually reprogramming your mind as you're doing that, because your mind now is starting to adopt this new habit or this new belief, this new repetition. So when this mind sees this new repetition now, voila, your life changes. It's really a phenomenal thing when you can pick it up. Someone says it's bending reality with your thoughts. Yep. That's what actually is. Your thoughts create that stuff. I try meditating. Someone asked here, I try meditating looking for answers, but I don't receive anything. Right. In meditation, you're not going to receive anything. Meditation is, okay, so here's how it works. When you are meditating, you're opening up to the universe, right? So if you're truly meditating, you will be in a state of like a free mind. Like your mind is just focused, maybe on your breathing, on your body, or anything. You're not like, you may have a couple thoughts, but predominantly your mind is silence, right? So when you're meditating, the universe is going to give you whatever information it wants to give. Now, if you're looking for answers for a specific thing you want, you don't do that through meditation. You go to your higher self for that. So if you ever want answers to anything, you go and talk to yourself in a question format or in a statement with a confirmed conviction. You relax, you take a nice deep breath, and you speak out what you want to know, like you're talking to yourself. You got to do it in a way to reveal to you, hey, show me this. How can I do this? What would this like? What's the sign for this? Can you give me the answer to that? That's how you're going to get answers. You're not going to get answers to a specific thing through meditation. Meditation is just going to give you general stuff that the universe wants to download to you. Specific answers, you got to go into your higher self. People don't even know that. People don't even understand. See, that's what I'm showing you. People don't even know how to. People don't even know that there's a channel out there that they can connect to get all the answers they want from themselves, from the higher version of themselves. They don't even know that they can get information. They can get answers to change their life just by learning how to communicate and be in contact with their true selves, with the version of them, the higher version of them. Yes, there's a higher version that exists beyond you. There's a higher version that is totally not from this dimension. It's dimensionless. It's there. It's right here in the same space and time as you, but you can't interact with it physically. You only can interact with it on an emotional, mental level through meditating, through visualization, those type of stuff. And this is why you got to open people's minds to see, like, guys, we live in a dimension-full world or universe. Someone asks, are downloads just realizations? Downloads come in the form of the aha moment. They're instant realization. They're an answer. They can give you something that will make sense to you to do it. They can lead you to do something. That's downloads. You always get answers when you ask the higher self. Some people do it through praying and all that stuff. You can do the same thing, but you adopt it the same way, and you'll all get answers. But there are these parts of us that exist, and we have no idea that they are there, and we have no idea that we can go to get our answers to ourselves. We've been duped to think that answers are outside. You think like, oh man, I gotta go get this from that. Everything you can want, you can just go in yourself and get it. Yeah, you can actually tap into yourself and get if you want to change your life, you want to become like happy, you want to stop depression, you want to become more successful, if you want to make more money, if you want to do an idea or business, you want to get the people to help you, all that, you can just go to yourself. Is it normal to feel lost? Someone asks, is it normal to feel lost? I've been seeking purpose in a career since 2012. Yes, feeling lost is normal. That's quite normal. So if you feel lost or stuck, it's normal. I mean, your mind is tuning, it's looking, but what you want to do now is, when you feel lost, don't try to force anything. In other words, when you feel lost, don't try to feel unlost. It's going to create more loss. All you have to do is understand, okay, I'm feeling a little bit lost. Okay, let me just tend to focus on what my life would look like. If you say you're seeking a purpose in a career, start to look at it in terms of what it would look like to be in that normal. Write it down and then let it go, and then just chill, because you don't know what to do. You're in a state right now, your mind is working. Then when things start to come to light, you'll get inspired action to make the next move. But what happens is your ego gets panicked and feels stuck and says, we got to do something, we got to do something. You put yourself in a more deeper rabbit hole. How do you talk to your higher self, though? Just talk to yourself. There's no special way. Just like the only requirement to talk to your higher self, guys, is to understand it's there, and then open a communication. Just talk to it in regular questions. Say, hey, what can I do this? Hey, how can I do that? Just like you're talking to yourself. You can look in the mirror and ask that. You're talking to your higher self. How do we deal? Someone asks, how do we deal with family that are in old programming? Like I feel they hold us back. Yeah, it's going to be difficult with family because some of your family just aren't ready yet. So I wouldn't focus on trying to convince your family. I would just try to focus more on like convincing myself and like working on myself. Then what usually happens with that, your family will notice that new change in you and they may come around. But the thing with people, when people are programmed, don't try to unprogram or force people. You can go one time, and if they're receptive, you continue. But if they're not receptive, you want to let it go because they're not ready yet. And that's how you're going to deal with family who aren't there. But, you guys got to understand that you have to go to your higher self. It's there. It exists. Someone says, I have to live with those types of people. How do you protect? You got to hear but don't hear. You got to listen but don't listen. So with those types of people. In other words, if you're around those people, you got to learn to cope now. Whatever they say, let it go through one ear, not the other. And once you understand that, like, look, if you're someone that's, positive and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're gonna understand they're going to be negative people. So what you got to understand is, okay, that's their reality. So just understand that what they say is not going to affect me. Just don't let it affect you by splitting realities. It's their world. This is my world. I said this before. You could live in the same house and in two different worlds. You're in the same house. This person's always negative and feeling depressed. You're in the same house. You're always feeling happy. And what is it? It's a perception. Yep, someone says it good. In order to change others, you have to change yourself first. That's how it works. That's the most powerful comment right there, because it's really true. When you become who you are, it's going to reflect to other people. Other people will want to become a part of you. They'll want to be around you. They'll want to stay with you. Remember I told you, I said the non-attachment, that's when people come to you. Because people are going to realize, like, this guy, this girl, there's nothing that owns her, man. That's very... How come he's not attached to anything? How can he just take life so calmly? Why isn't he stressed? People love that. They want to be around people for that because they want to have that same thing. Think about it. You think people want to get up every day, stress, worry, and fear? They don't want that stuff. They want to be happy, cool. If they find someone that can do that, they want to come to that person because they want to learn. They want to be like, man, I don't know what it is, but I'm drawn to you, man. Everything, life to you is like simple. You're not like aggressive. You're not angry. You're just, man, what's up? How can I get that? So that's where you're going. That's what I told you. I said, you will get respect. People come to help you. You manifest more because everyone wants to come to the light. Everyone wants to come to the light. Someone says, everyone is you pushed out. Not necessarily now. Everyone is not you pushed out. It's a perception. Now, this is how it works. You have light and you have dark. Dark will always go to the light. Dark wants the light. Right? So, some people naturally will want to come to you. Some people will be broken. They'll have problems. They'll have toxicity. And they'll want to come to you, not because you're broken or have toxicity somewhere pushed out. They just want to come to you because they pick up your energy that this person can fix me or help me. But doesn't mean it's your job to go fix them. That's where people mess up now. Just because you're high vibe and you have the positive stuff, you say, man, Mark, why I keep attracting these people? Well, you can't control that. They're going to come to you. The question is, why do you, even if you attract those people, why are you constantly trying to fix those people? Now that's your fault. Not my fault if I'm attracting toxic, negative people, because I'm going to always have a positive, high vibe. So I'm going to naturally, those people are going to naturally be drawn to me because they want that. You think people want to be not toxic and they want to be happy. They want that stuff. Subconsciously, they're going to look for that. So they're going to be drawn to you. So I'm going to be aware of that. So I'm going to get all type of people, but I'm smart. I know, like, okay, when they come, I'm going to pick and choose. No, I can't fix you. I'm not fixing you. I'm not fixing. No. Thank you, brother. See, but the problem we make is, oh, the universe brought them to me. It's a sign. I have to fix them. No, that's your ego telling you that. You have a choice to make. You don't have to fix people that come into your life, man. They got to fix themselves. Light looks for light. Dark looks for dark. But more profoundly, dark will always look more for light. Think about that. The light will look for the light. The dark will look for the dark. But the dark will always look more for the light. That's a riddle for you. If someone can tell me the answer to that, you're a genius. Why will the dark always look more for the light than the dark for the dark and the light for the light? Anyone has the answer for that? I said the dark will always look more for the light than the dark looks for the dark and the light looks for the light. Why does that work? Why is the dark will always look more for the light? Someone answer here, because light is our natural state. Exactly. Very simple. Dark exists because of the duality, has the balance. But the light will always be a little bit more because it's your natural state of vibration. So that's why you can be very high vibe, positive people, and you still will attract toxic and negative people, because that's what they do. But you get it messed up when they tell you, like, oh, you're positive and high, but you're still attracting negative people. That means there's something inside of you got to fix. There's nothing inside of you to fix. So don't listen to that stuff. Oh, everyone's pushed out of you. No, you're not. You can be perfectly healed, balanced, and you're still going to attract negative, toxic people, because they're going to pick up on your light unconsciously. They're programmed for that. That's their natural state. You cannot change the natural state of the universe. If you're programmed for something, you will always go back to that something. Naturally from the universe now. Not subconsciously when you come into the matrix. But the universe, when it's set up, boop, you are already naturally favored to be light. What does that mean? If you look at it, your body constantly heals itself. If you get a cut, your body's healing itself. Your body was designed to naturally be in a state of harmony, to feel good, to be balanced. Why does happiness feel so good? Why do we strive for that? Because it's what our body wants. When you're happy, science has already shown that and proven that. When you're happy, you're more healthy. So you can see that from the day you came here, you were already naturally light. So what happens is you stray away from the light by the program. Even though you stray away from the light from the program, you get toxic, you get negative. That's a subconscious thing. But the universe law will always outbid the subconscious law. So that means now, when you come into the world, you pick up these toxic traits. Subconsciously or through the universe, through your DNA, you will always want to go back to being light. That's why toxic people will always go to people that are not toxic. But what we do, you make the mistake thinking it's your job to fix those people. It's not your job. They're just attracted to you because they want your light. You will know who to fix. It'll tell you. Don't fix people. Fix yourself. I always say to people, it's not my job to fix you. I can give you awareness and I can open you up to tell you what's happening, and then you're going to have to go out there and work on it yourself. But many of your empaths, you take it personal to try to fix people, and it just drains you down and you feel lower, and then you get these toxic people, and then you have this idea that spawns in your head now. Your ego creates and says, oh, it's your soul contract, it's your destiny. you have to work with this person, they're toxic, and you create this story in your head and you live it, and it's not even true. So I'm breaking the stigma for you right now, guys. You don't have to fix anybody. It's up to you. They're always going to come to you. They're always going to be attracted to you. There's nothing wrong with not saying you have negative traits in you. You will know when you're fixed. If you're attracting negative people, okay, there you have good light. They want to come there. People want to be happy. People want to laugh. So you're going to attract both the positive and the negative. It's always going to happen. So just focus more on the positive people you attract. Help the negative people by making them aware of what they need to do, and then focus more on positive people. Someone says you have to change perception of yourself. Of course, you have to, because we're dealing with frequencies out there, right? People will see in you what you perceive. But it's all about yourself, because there's all types of people, right? There's happy, positive, toxic, negative. So if you see yourself as a positive, confident person, there are those people out there that's going to come into your life. Also, the negative people will come to you too, because negative people want to be confident as well. So you're going to attract both of them. Do you believe in physics? Well, you can, even if you don't, it's up to you. You can believe in it, and if you don't believe in it, science don't really care what you believe. The truth is the truth. So it's not a question of belief. It's a question of, are there proofs? So can you do something to show me over and over repeatedly? Can you do experiments in real time to show me, and then wherever you go, it's the same results? That's what physics is. It's something that we can verifiably test and reproduce over and over, and we'll get the same results. So, answer your question, yes, and with the results. Do you believe everything happens for a reason? Yes, I believe everything happens for a reason. Some of it is unknown, but every disappointment is a blessing. Every disappointment is for a good. Every good thing that happens is for a good. But again, it's never your job to figure out the reason why stuff happened. That's what we face. When stuff happens in our life, first thing we try to do is we want to figure out why. Right? We all want the closure, right? Why did this happen? That's a part of the Matrix game. I got to figure it out. I got to free myself. You don't have to free anything. It's made up stuff. Who cares? It doesn't matter why it happened. It happened. The reason may come down the line somewhere or another. What is your next step? Where's your next focus? Because if you keep focusing on why, you're going to get more manifestation of why. It's not going to change anything. Is there a stone that helps keep your pineal gland clear? Amethyst. Oh, you meant psychics. Do I believe in psychics? Yes, psychic ability is real. You're psychic. Everyone, you can develop psychic. You know what psychic is? It's quantum entanglement with human beings and all entities in whatever universe. That's what psychic is. Quantum entanglement is particles will have the same information, they'll share information, and no matter what space and time, they'll always be instantaneous. So human beings, we are connected, right? And we're entangled with all of our consciousness. So that's why you could see something about someone before it, and they can see something about you because you're tapping into their consciousness. Can you tell when others' light is a true light? Yes, you would. You don't tell when others are true light, you'll feel it. Feeling is always better than seeing. Feeling will always be true. Your eyes can deceive you, but your intuition will never deceive you. True intuition will never deceive you, though. Intuition can come in the form of your ego, so you gotta remember that. So some of you may say, well, Mark, that was my intuition, I followed it. No, that was your ego. True intuition takes time to tone and hone in on. But you'll feel it. Don't trust the eyes, guys. Trust what you feel, because your eyes can't lie to you. But your feelings, the true feelings, 100% will never lie to you. That's the power you will have. You can instantly shift and change everything. So you see the guys, the stuff you have, like some of it you're not even aware of it. Some of it is like hidden from you. Some of you probably don't even know this. You're like, man, I know all that stuff, that gift and all that stuff I can do. Now you have it. It's there for you, but you just have to learn to play the game the right way. That's why I always say you unlearn what you were taught, right? That's the power. You have the power of a higher self. It's your etheric self from outside working with you in a physical world. That sounds trippy, right? Sounds unbelievable. So does religion. Religion sounds the same crazy stuff. But this is not crazy. This is actually true stuff because you can innately feel it. And many of you have evidence to show that, man, Mark, my higher self showed me this. This happened to me last week and it came. So you have so much evidence you can see this stuff at. See how that works? Yep. It's powerful abilities you have to exercise. Now, I'm all for science now. Trust me, I love quantum physics, quantum mechanics. But there's a certain point where physics can't match with some of these things you're experiencing. They just haven't caught up to quantify it yet. So you gotta understand that. So just because science don't want to touch it doesn't mean it's not real, but they just don't understand it. And that's with psychic, that's with the higher self, all that stuff. Science just can't understand that right now. And that's fine. It doesn't mean that you don't have to believe it or you should listen and say, oh, but just because, well, Mark, science can't show me any of that. Science can't show a lot of stuff. It's just stuff that you don't even know. But it's just how you are, who you are. But the main point is you got to remember, this is your goal. I'm here to flow with experience. I'm not here to own and chase. When you get that, the whole world comes easier for you. Relationships, you get to be more of yourself, because people, we always try to impress people, man. Everybody's fake when they meet somebody for the first time. You know that? Everybody's fake. Because when you meet someone, you're trying to show your best face. After a while, you become yourself. Why do you do that? You do that because you were taught by the Matrix. Well, they're not going to like me because I'm not. Maybe they don't like me who I am, so let me pretend to be someone else. Everybody's doing that. When you meet someone, you're fake. You're not even a real person. After you get used to them and you find out they're cool, then maybe you can let your guard down. But some people don't even let their guard. Some people are living with people right now that are still fake because they can't let them see their true selves. Because their true selves, they're going to leave me. Man, I want to be my true self, but I can't because I created this fake person. When I met her or him, I got to keep this fake image going. See? Where you get that from? The Matrix. Matrix teaches you you're not good enough, so you got to become someone else. They're not going to like the real you, man. So you got to become this to get that person. They're like that. And it goes into your head. Your ego picks it up. And the people you meet and stuff. Maybe, I think she'll like that. So let me become this person for her. It's fake, man. And it's not going to last long. They're going to end up leaving you. And you'll say, man, I thought that's what he or she wanted. And then maybe you see them down the line with someone like you, like the real you. Wait a minute. I thought you wanted this. No, I just wanted a simple person. Oh, I'm a simple person. Now you can't be trusted anymore. Not going to believe you. That's why I keep saying, don't take it serious, man. Just do you and be yourself. Who's for you is going to come to you. What's for you will always find you. So be yourself. Don't try to put on a facade or try to do this because you're only going to attract the wrong people. you're not going to attract your authentic person, or what you call soulmate. You're never going to do that. So don't be scared to be yourself. Be the weird self, all that stuff. There's no such as weird. It's all made up again. We live in a made up game. Languages, everything is made up. That's when you become yourself, that's when you're going to get your powers revealed to you. Yep. Because you're in stasis now. You're in flow with the harmony of yourself. You know, we're always running away from ourselves to an image that the Matrix gave us. You know what the Matrix do? The Matrix give you what beauty should look like, how you should dress, how much money you should make, what type of lifestyle you should have. The Matrix says if you don't meet any of these criteria, you're not worthy. That's what the Matrix do to you. But it's fake, guys. People don't really live like that. How many people are comfortable in their own skin being their true self? Right? How many people can understand themselves? How many people can do that? If you're one of those individuals can do that, you're on your way to the flow state. That's why I said unlearn everything you learn. The Matrix is taking you away from yourself. That's all it is. If I can get you to be someone else than not yourself, I won. That's the game of the Matrix. So far, they're winning. Because a lot of people are fake people. They're like NPCs, non-player characters, bots. Someone says we're in a virtual reality. It's practically, yeah, we're like a virtual reality. So for you guys, don't take it too serious. Don't stress yourself, man. Don't become attached. Don't try to force. Don't try to chase. Just watch the patterns. Observe your feelings. Listen to your inner self. Paint a picture of what you want in the mind. Write it down. Talk it out. Become comfortable and watch how the magic, what you call magic, happens for the universe. What's happening when they say I have no filters, I don't conform to normal business acumen? Then you're being yourself. That's called being your authentic self. Your authentic self is you're going to be you, say what you feel, and you don't care what people think about you because you know the truth of how this stuff works. I mean, think about everybody is fake. Everybody's trying to be someone they're not. And you don't want to do that because it's not you. And you see it doesn't work, guys. You see like a lot of stuff, it doesn't work. That's the part. Now, that when you talk manifesting, that's how you see, manifesting is easy. Manifesting is very easy because your brain does that. You just got to create the environment to get what you want in man. That's what you want to do. And being yourself will create that environment for you. When you become something you're not, it's going to be hard to manifest because your body knows, like cells know, like, this ain't you, man. Come on. This ain't us. You feel it. You know, you're living up to this image. It's a lot of pressure. So many people are doing that. Some people working a job, a career. They're living an image that is no longer them anymore. Some of them make good money, but they're not happy because they just know that this ain't me. They're scared to change because they think like, oh, the effort, the schooling I put in, the amount of time, some people just, they can't, they're afraid to accept who they are. Like, I just want to go live in the islands. I want to do this. I'm this big CEO. I'm this big person. I'm just making all this money, but it's not me anymore. They're scared. And they've forced themselves to live this fake identity that's eating them up inside, and they don't want to go and just be their authentic self. You know why they don't want to do that? Because they don't know the future. See, they think the uncertainty is bad. But if they only understand how the game works and they understand, like, okay, let me go be my authentic self, they'll be more happy, fulfilled. Their life will be totally better. Because, I mean, their life isn't any better now. I mean, they're not happy. So I mean, they make a lot of money still, but see, now, money's not the only thing now. So, but still, they have this life they're living, man. And they come home every night and there's stress on them, and they're going to bed. It's slowly eating them up, and they want to change, but they're scared of how people's going to react or look, or family, or da-da-da. See how powerful it can put you in that loop? Some of you may be experiencing that right now. Some of you may have careers that are very promising, fulfilling, doing really good in it, but it's not you. It's not what you truly want. It's what you thought you wanted, but then you realize, man, this isn't what I want. This isn't me anymore. What I want is that. How many of you can take that leap of faith and jump into the uncertain world to get that? That's where you get the biggest growth. That's where you get the biggest achievements. I had to do that. I did that. I went to culinary school to be a chef. I was like, man, this is what I want to do. I thought I wanted to do it. Then I got my awakening, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. I had to jump into the uncertainty. And voila, made the best decision of my life. But some people are scared to do that because their pride, again, the ego. See, the ego holds them and controls them. But once they realize that, they just jump in and just go live their purpose and just do what the passion they want to do. Forget about, how am I going to make the money? All that's going to take care of itself, because once you become your passion creates opportunities for you. You got to understand that. When you jump and do that, don't do it in a state of fear or lack. Do it in a state of faith. People jump in fear like, oh my God. Just do it and know that, hey, things are going to work out for me. And things will. Because now, what happens is when you find your true self, you're in harmony, so there's a whole new world opens up for you. The right connection, the right things. People have dreams, man. They want to do something. Artists, they want to create stuff, but they're scared because they think like, I can't leave this job. It's making me a lot of money. Even though I don't like it, I'm unhappy. But I can't see myself like doing this, my passion, and making money. That's not for you. That's not for you to figure out. Your job is to go into it, and then the universe open other stuff. That's the game I'm showing you how it works. See, the uncertainty is the best part of the game, but the Matrix hide that from you. The Matrix says uncertainty is bad. You got to be certain, and your mind follows that. That's why you see the future. You see like next week, Tuesday. You see all your mind's projecting like days ahead and showing you it's all an illusion, guys. The true nature of reality is uncertainty. There is nothing that's certain. Your mind will trick you to tell you everything is certain. There's nothing certain, guys. Reality exists in states of potentiality, all different vibrations of energy. But everything is uncertain until you tune into a particular outcome. Very uncertain, but believing and knowing. Yep. Sounds crazy, right? I showed you that's what they program you. But uncertainty is your greatest friend. Because look, the uncertain holds infinite possibilities of unimaginable great things, if you see it that way. Uncertainty will make you grow. Become uncomfortable become comfortable in the uncomfortable. That's when you grow. That's when you become the best version of yourself. Because you're opening up different pathways of filters. Your mind starts to open different areas of filters. That's how it works. See how it works, guys? Yep. So that's what I want to leave you guys with today, to understand that you want to be in flow. You want to experience your stuff. You don't want to chase or own or try. Just let it flow, and voila. The universe is going to take you to new heights. You'll see like perfect stuff. So I'll see you guys next time.